Salutations and Merry Festivus. Welcome to the Cars, Bars, and Guitars podcast, episode 77. I'm AJ.
And I'm Steve.
Steve, who are we brought to you today by?
Last minute shopping.
How last minute are we talking?
I'm about halfway there.
That is, well, no, I'm done because I only really buy for Emily. And then Emily buys for everybody else and then puts my name on it. It's the very husband thing to do. Hey, well,
yeah, basically, Kaylin's getting stuff for her family. I'm getting stuff for my family, but putting both of our names on the everything.
Of course,
because spread the cheer and the stretch of paychecks.
You've known your family all your life, so it's not really fair for her to do the shopping for them, and vice versa. Well, in honor of Christmas, what are we drinking?
Early times. So this is from December 25th. 0000. If Back to the Future taught me anything. Too early?
Too late. So this is a bottled in bond.
Too real.
Yep, and this is a bottled in bond. And you know what a bottled in bond is now.
This looks nothing like George Lazenby.
For those of you who don't know who bottled in bond, what bottled in bond is, it's at a
bottled in bond.
That's a long name, and I never know how to fill out the hyphens. How people do that? Never mind. I don't have a hyphenated name. I just have 4 names. Anyway, I'm not going to tell you how I fill out my tax return.
And you go by none of them.
No, I do not. Bottled in bonds at a government-controlled facility, and it has to be aged at least 4 years and go through 1 distilling cycle. So, Steve, this is 100 proof, and it doesn't drink like it, and it was $26.50. And this side of Buffalo Trace is the best $26 bottle. It's good. That was recommended by Keith.
The Keith. ABC store fellow?
No, this was from Southern Spirits, Keith. The guy who runs that.
The only 2, I guess, 3 Keiths I have been in cahoots with. One's a guy in Raleigh I haven't seen in 15 years since his plate party at the Saucer. 2 previous coworkers. One was cool. One might be a serial killer.
So what is the evidence?
When's the last time you ever encountered somebody who could not pronounce the word million? Instead it comes out mersion.
Huh?
Yeah.
That is disturbing.
Beyond.
Yikes. Moving on, then. No, Keith does he's the owner, or not the owner, but he's the manager of Southern Spirits, and so he
must really hate Family Guy.
Yes, they have the booze letter they send out once a week.
Nice,
and it gives his favorite cocktails, the new arrivals, what's coming in, how many they're getting. Get here while you can. Get in your car right now, sort of thing. I was super happy, and by the way, drinking out of these will spoil you, because I tried at the early times at Brian's house. I bought him a bottle, and we drank it out of a regular tumbler, and then we drank it out of one of these. It was way sweeter in this. It's very strange.
This is almost syrupy.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to put this on my waffles and see how that goes.
Dude, there's an untapped resource right there of bourbon chicken and waffles. Maybe. Well, Steve, what else are we drinking today that you brought?
So here we have the Voodoo Ranger Experimental IPA, courtesy of the latest mix pack from the Lowe's Foods in Harrisburg. During which I bumped into another former coworker, well, contractor, but the Pitney guy. Yeah. One of the few people I actually liked at the old job, but he quit years ago to pursue bigger, badder things at Pitney Bowes.
Yeah.
So he's been air traveling during all hell breaking loose.
Fuck that.
He said the early days were nice when it was 10 people on the plane. There's like, just sit wherever you want. Just make sure you've got your own aisle.
Oh, hell yes.
And now it's back to sardines.
Yeah. And, of course, you've seen the videos. Come
fly to dangerous skies.
And all the videos of the Karens that are getting kicked off the plane. Like, they tell you, like, no, you have to keep your mask on the whole time. Well, this is a free country, and all this is
that scene from Fight Club to break those first 2 rules. Feed them the oxygen mask. Problem solved. It's supposed to keep you calm.
True, but if you had too many people on the plane and they were all no, that's what you do. Get all the anti-maskers. Just tell them, look, you all have to get on this plane, and then you fucking start dive
That's going to
bombing.
be the only plane with the smoking section.
Ready? 1,
2, 3.
That's the first time we've done it together. What's so funny is I'm always louder than you, and your pops are always louder than mine. Steve has louder pops than I do.
There are louder Cokes. This ain't the Midwest.
That's delicious.
That's tasty.
Mm-hmm. How much?
So many Voodoo Rangers so little time. It was $16 for the 12-pack.
And I mean, that's $1.25.
Yeah, it's kind of the new low par for something this good.
I got you. Well,
normally it would have been $20.
Yeah. So, Steve,
that's why I went up with this instead of the, I guess, Founders Holiday Brew Pack. Well, it's all Voodoo Ranger IPAs, and all Voodoo Ranger IPAs are good.
Every one of them, yes.
Did you ever have the original New Belgium Ranger? Not the Voodoo, but the original Ranger from 2011?
No.
That was the quintessential kick you in the teeth, super piney IPA. That was intense.
Like they spilled pine sol in there, and then
Pretty
they
much.
just decided
this was a very intense flavored beer.
No, I don't. If I have 9 years, I don't remember 9 minutes ago, much less 9 years ago. Especially
I remember
when
that
it
in
comes to
particular
alcohol.
because that was at my cousin's wedding in Charleston back in 2011. That they picked up, a 24-pack of Miller Lite, a 24-pack of Yingling, and a 24-pack of Ranger. It's well, I know what I'm going to get stuck drinking because that's going to be too much for everybody else's plebeian palate.
Yeah, piney or not, still the lesser. It's the better alternative to the beggar evils. Jesus. Before I get started on my exhausted venture, do you have any new car shenanigans going on with personally or at work?
I've kind of morphed in my position at work from inspector to last minute details and cleaning and removing dealer badging, and still am currently considered for a few IT type positions that haven't quite materialized, but apparently, quote, the paperwork is in. Cool. Could this materialize by, I don't know, end of January? That'd be super. Thanks.
I'd stick it. I'd stick it out a little while longer.
Well, especially because beginning next year, that starts my second year, which qualifies me for 4 weeks vacation plus an extra week I'm carrying over from this year.
Yep, you're almost to my status.
Yeah,
and it took you way less time.
Yeah, versus at old job it took 10 years to get 4. Okay.
I'm amazed at some places who people have been there for 5 to 10 years and they still get 2 weeks of paid vacation. I'm like, what? What do you even fucking do with that little
or
amount
at
of
least
time?
Or are you allowed unpaid time off?
I'm pretty sure.
And
we let
that could be.
Yeah, we let you do that as long as you request and you don't just call out. We have the most generous attendance.
I would
policy.
call that up to unpaid time off.
Some of the companies actually, I think San Francisco and such, are trying out the unlimited time off. And people are actually more productive when they're there because they know that if they work themselves too hard in one day and have to pull a double, they can take the next day off. So it's actually...
given the nature of our business, that wouldn't quite fly, but it sure sounds nice.
Yours or mine.
Yeah.
Nobody needs any food tomorrow. I put it all out today.
Yeah. New car production is halted, therefore the used car market is booming. Said coworker I bumped into at the Lowe's, he said he just bought his son, he's slightly older than me, but bought his son a car.
Yikes.
A 2010 Kia Forte Coupe with a K.
Ugh.
Kind of a rare bird,
Well,
but 100,000-mile car, $6,000.
That
was back when I was shopping the Vibes replacement.
Mm-hmm.
Even then was an 08 or 09 Matrix with 100 or 130,000 miles on it was $6,000. So that made the extra $2,000 for the 60,000-mile newer car a little easier pill to swallow.
Yeah.
Weird gas tank issue and scratches and dents or not.
Mechanically, though.
We're
now
solid. It's good. It's happy, and No, it's got its new set of shoes ready for whenever I can find a dull moment to get them installed.
Yeah. Well, the pipe's exhaust has officially come off, and I ordered the catback exhaust from MBRP. Not as much fun to say, but at least
Burp.
it was the dibby-da-ba-doo-bop. A lot more. The pipes was not spelled the right way. It was PYP. I did like the way it sounded, but just droned so badly. So let's put our engineering caps on, guys and gals.
So what are you going to do with that? Is mount on the wall or sell it?
I've got it listed for $275 on Craigslist.
Given that it's a Jeep exhaust, it should move quickly.
Yeah, I got it on Craigslist and on FB Marketplace. So
or like voice upon, like, buy the exhaust, take the old wheels.
package deal for $400. Take
there you
go. Unfortunately, they're the most boring Jeep wheels that you could possibly get.
They're at least they're not the Steelies.
That's true.
I showed you one that my old mechanic shop. He's got a 2010 4-door, and it's got the Steelies on it, and they are woefully unflattering. Like the only wheel that looks worse would be any of the casters on a 2-wheel drive Tacoma after 01.
Yeah.
At least the early ones had the good sense to put like rinky-dink hubcaps on your 14-inch wheels. My old truck included.
Right, but it was period correct though. On your taco.
On that one, I never liked the way that looked.
It looked better with the
black
Steelies.
wheel. Yeah, it did look better with this black Steelies on it.
Yeah, I don't hate the way that I just think they're too plain. They're not ugly. The old wheels are just too plain. But I had this theory that the exhaust droned so badly because the muffler was at the very back, and it was all pipe all the way from the header, catalytic converter also. With the XJ, the muffler was mounted right smack dab in the middle of the Jeep, so the sound was muffled a lot sooner and right up underneath the cabin. So I read on the hot rod forums, all the hot rod guys were like, nope, the exhaust drone's worse when you mount the mufflers underneath, mounted at the back. Well, I took this $280 gamble, and I bought the catback, which replaced the entire thing, deleted the resonator, but just added the muffler and it did not added a muffler. It relocated the muffler from the rear to the front. It's a straight-through muffler, but you can kind of look in there and see the baffles and all that shit. There's no resonator out back. I bolted it in. It was the most perfect bolt-on exhaust I've ever bought. Everything was perfectly lined up. All the T-bolt clamps, good clamps, not those worm-style clamps. Took it for a drive. No drone, no vibration, no weird buzzing in the door panel. It's quiet on the interstate.
This is also after having dynamated it as well. So
I did, but you can. I don't know if it made that much of a difference with the exhaust, but the Dynamat made a humongous difference in road noise, in tire noise.
That's nice.
It's it's a very, very comfortable. And then the exhaust is quiet, but then if I want it to be loud, I just downshift and give it some gas, and then it kind of grumbles and rumbles to life, kind of like the XJ. It's actually a little quieter than the XJ all the time, but it's louder than the XJ when you give it the beans. And actually, to me, that's perfect.
What you were listening for, wasn't it?
Yeah, I wanted it to be quiet. And here's another mod I did, which is very much worth the $4 I spent on it. I took the sound bar out. The sound bar is plastic in Jeeps. Very thick, hard plastic, but...
As in the speakers on your crossbar? Okay.
Yeah, took
roll
that
bar. Yeah.
Took that down, unplugged them, took the speakers out, and filled it with polyfill. The polyester stuffing that you would use in pillows.
Okay.
You stuff that in there, not tightly. Bless you.
Yeah, otherwise your speakers cannot vibrate and therefore not function.
So you put it in there. It was described to me on the forums, or like not described to me, but the person asking. Put it in there and make it look like a bag of cotton candy, where it's pliable, but it's not so thick if you punched it, it would hurt your hand. So I got a bag that big, $4.50 from Michael's. I used half of it on the entire sound bar, put it all through there and behind the speakers, and it sounds so good in there now. It's like you upgraded the speakers, like because all that sound that was rattling, because if you had the volume turned up a little bit, it would kind of not rattle, but you'd get that tinny. It would rattle it loud, but if you had the bass up, now you can turn the bass and it just gives that like real nice thud to it. So if you have plastic speaker enclosures, it's definitely worth your while to put some polyfill in them. I'm not sure what the speaker situation is like in the Scion.
Whatever stock things in it. It did take the door panels off to replace the mirrors, so at least I've gotten halfway there and only lost one clip in the process.
You know what I did with my clips? When I took them off, I actually put Gorilla Tape around the clip, all of them, just so I know I wouldn't lose them anymore. Because the Jeep actually, how many bolts and clips? Just estimate for one door panel.
Whatever clip for the tweeter, and then screw by the door handle, 3 each on the pull bar, and then I think the rest is just all pop-in clips, maybe 8 or 10 on each door. One of those fell out, and Kaylin's like, "Hey, do you need this?" Like having spotted this like beige piece of plastic, like, "Oh yeah, that's one of the things from the door." It's like, I don't know which door it came from, but thank you. So
it's
all right,
not
it's not so much loss; it's just not in the car. It's that, yeah, the whole car squeaks and rattles a bit, but who knows what its past life looked like. Like getting to play with similar cars at work, like, oh, this one doesn't sound like shit when you close the door. Mine's distinctly tinny sounding with especially the back doors,
which is strange because like the Jeep actually sounds really good and solid when you close the door, and there's no sound deadening in the doors. Well, there isn't the driver's side door now because I was chasing that fucking problem. But that full catback system was $100 cheaper than that axle back system.
Huh.
But honestly, I wish I would have ordered this one first, not only for the sound, but because the other one, it never fit 100% right. One side would always stick out a little more. This one dumps right before the rear bump. You can't even see it unless you look up underneath. So you have this stealth look. And because Jeeps don't have exhaust cutouts, it's just a straight bumper. It doesn't look weird.
So it's not going to reduce your ground clearance that way. Never mind.
I get better ground clearance, actually.
Yeah. I always like the way that double pipes look out of the back of anything, whether it's appropriate or not. Like even the fake tips on the new Corolla hatchbacks, like, and it's neat. Never mind, the actual exhaust pipe is dumping just before the bumper.
If you crawl up underneath the Jeep, actually, because of the way the headers are and the ground clearance underneath, where the Y pipe comes together, this exhaust runner is longer than this one. If you would have just gone straight in, so what Jeep did is put a loop in it. So it's an equal length. And some people do delete that, but I figured they did it for a good reason. So I'm going to leave that in. I'm not messing with the sound of it. I got it fucking right. Nothing's vibrating. I'm just going to leave it the fuck alone. Who am I?
There's plenty more mods you could do to it.
Oh,
you've got the look or lack of look and the sound that you're looking for, listening for, whatever.
Yes. I'm going to take the running boards off tomorrow and refinish them because I don't want to back to black them every 3 months. I'm going to probably get the spray-on Rhino line. But before I do...
See if I can find some Flex Seal at Ollie's on the Jeep.
Well, before I do that, if my shoes weren't going to be touching it all the time, I would consider, but the spray-on Rhino line, actually, like the Herculiner, I think, I'm going to buy a can of it and then spray something that's not that first just to see what the finish looks like. And if it looks good, I'm going to go for it. That's $10 a can.
Yeah, it's absurd to see how expensive a spray and bed liner is.
Well, they have the roll-on for $90, the kit, and actually you roll it, you mix it together and roll it on. But like
trying to roll a fairly round part sound like a fool's errand.
Yeah, and I don't need it to be as durable as that. Like I'm going to be stepping on it. I'm not going to be sliding lumber and concrete blocks into it. So the spray-on should.
Another idea: if you were to have some sort of like tub that could fit it. Fill the tub with the Flex Seal or bedliner stuff. Dip it. You literally plastic dip this with something sturdier than plastic dip.
Have like fucking stalactites coming down from it.
No, then you have to rotisserie it because you're going to eat it like a chicken later.
Quadratech actually sells the power operated. When the doors unlock, they come down. and then they go back up.
What in the Lincoln Navigator is this?
Yes, yeah, I don't.
That
I don't,
sounds way too fancy for a Wrangler.
Yeah, it's like $1,000 fucking for that too. I'm like,
no.
Glad you're on the same page. In
Yeah,
that
it's
book
like
as I am.
that's neat, but nah.
No. Anybody? In fact, you deserve to be punched in the face if you drive a Wrangler and you buy that aftermarket. If it came with it, fine, whatever. But it doesn't, and two, you deserve to be punched in the face. Are you ready to do the news?
Sure.
Sweet. You're already out of early times. I need to refill. You must have liked it.
I'm out of time.
Well, how about if I go there tomorrow, I'll just pick you up a bottle.
Yes.
Steve, the top 5 beers of 2020, and I have never had any of them. And I've had iterations of 2 of them. But the top 5, there was a top 50, but I did not want to write that
Goodness.
down. Top 5 beers of 2020. Referend Beer Berliner Messe.
No. Anything Berliner, like a Berliner Weisse, it's beginner sour. No, it's not good.
What's funny because this is Berliner, like Messe. Berliner Messe. While you're looking that up, the next up is Goose Island, Bourbon County, Kentucky Fog Imperial.
Feeling that'd be fantastic.
Probably. I think we talked about it on air one time, and it was 14.7%, and it had some kind of different sort of thing going on. 3 I'm interested in because I've never had that kind of hop before, but it was Other Half Brewing's Rawaka IPA.
Gesundheit.
It was Rawaka hops, and only those, and I'm not sure what that tastes like because I don't look. Let's find out. What a Rawaka. I only know what Rwanda is. And the genocide. Rawaka hops are essential to the craft beer following.
The Berliner Messe is a sour Berliner Weisse style beer, so we would automatically not like that.
Probably not.
Then we're picking, that was up part of some mix pack, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Like Berliner Weisse, not knowing what it is, like, it sounds like it'd be a wheat beer, like a Blue Moon or something. No. Why is it a Blue Moon gone wrong?
So why is it called Berliner Weiss? Because it seems to me that would be German of Berlin and wheat, but it's not. Or sour wheat, cream of sour wheat, sour cream of wheat. That's even worse. Ew.
Worst oatmeal ever.
Ugh. Rawaka hops have equal alpha and beta acids that give off a robust citrus aroma, which makes for a great IPA. They have strong grapefruit. So, now tastes like an IPA, I guess. Steve, number 2, Pure Project Oak Aged Sour. Ugh.
Waste of oak.
It's a waste of liquid. And number 1's Firestone Walker Anniversary Ale 14.
Over my birthday / Thanksgiving, I picked up a Firestone Walker mix pack, which is all IPA-ish.
Mm-hmm.
That was a hit. It was a 12 of that and a 12 of plain Jane Narragansett.
To me, the Firestone stuff is like, all of it is either 5% or 15%. They don't do anything in the middle. Those are the top 5 of 2020, and I'm sad. Well, like I said, we've had Goose Island, and we've had Firestone Walker. I've had the Anniversary Ale, but I don't think it's 14. We digress. Outgoing Democratic Congressman Joe Cunningham of Charleston, South Carolina, cracks a beer on the House floor in his farewell address. Unfortunately, he could not drink it because federal law dictates you cannot consume alcohol in the House or the Senate on the floor. But that was his farewell. He lost by 1 percentage point to the challenger, but he himself was a long shot candidate. So kudos to that man. And before you ask, I don't know what beer it was. It looked like a silver can, but it didn't look like Coors. It looked like it had way more shit going on the label.
Be like a Westbrook or something local.
I mean, play the cards you're dealt, and pretty good cards being dealt down there in Chucktown. So says Mr. Matt's in Myrtle. No, Matt's in
Florida now.
I don't fucking know. He's got COVID though.
Yeah, I saw that.
He's looking to move to Florida, I think. But
Is that part of the process? You have to get COVID before you go to Florida, so then you don't contract it there, and everybody can get it over and over.
I don't know, but like I told him, I was like, why are you moving to Florida? Like Publix came to you. Why are you going to their hometown? Australian woman wades through floodwaters to retrieve 2 beer kegs.
It's not that they were floating.
And it didn't say if they were hers, or if she just wanted them, or if there was a ransom out for it. So, Steve, this is interesting to me. We need to talk. Well, I'll save this one for last. All right. So next to last, best bourbon to give as a gift to a whiskey lover has been found to be Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, which is a 12-year bourbon. It's 130 proof, and you can find it for $65. That's really cheap for a 12-year, 130 proof whiskey.
I was trying to look up the article about that beer on the Senate floor, and then a G-Shock ad pops up. It's like, sweet. Never mind, this is not a G-Shock, but this is simply a ruggedized Casio I have upon my arm.
You put your finger in and move it closer. Oh, it's G-Shock. Okay, shock. All right.
G-Shocker.
I give him the Spocker. Got to be flexible for that one.
One of Steel Panther's best songs.
The Shocker?
The Shocker.
Oh, God damn it. I need to hear this.
You need to hear much of theirs.
Troy's going to see Steel Panther like almost every time. Like Steel Panther and Clutch. Every time they come to town, he goes to see them. Or at House of Blues when, that was a thing.
Yeah.
Have you found out what beer it was yet?
No.
While you're doing that,
I got a feeling I may not at this rate. It's like, hey, it's the fact he did the thing upon departure sure sounds nice.
Yeah, we could just like tweet him or message him or something. Although I don't have a Twitter.
I do, and it's often neglected. Ever since At Midnight went off the air, I gave up. So I managed to quit before it got completely vile 5 years ago.
Yeah. And finally, Steve, California craft brewers are suing the state and Gavin Newsom over the shutdown. They are claiming that it was not fair to keep restaurants open and not breweries. Now, this is actually a good...
So would they have not had a better to-go mechanism like ours did?
I don't know, but I kind of see the point because... It's not the same business, but it's the same business model. You have patrons coming in, seated at a table. As long as they're seated at a table and they have them spread out, and like so, Noda. Have you been to Noda since?
No, I've not been to but Saucer's the Saucer and like Beer Temple once have been the only places I've been to.
So Saucer has
everything,
every other table, although they have the bar open, which is fucking bananas.
It's like, please give each other 6 inches space.
Yeah, so
including your bartender.
Excluding that, which is silly at best. The tables are spread out. So what's the difference in eating at a restaurant or going to a brewery if everybody's wearing their PPE and socially distancing?
I mean, if anything, a brewery lends itself better if you just have beers with straws go up your mask. Problem solved.
And it's honestly, it's less, and not even that, but you could serve your
alcohol kills germs.
It does. Man. You could serve your alcohol in plastic cups too, and it would be all disposable. You can't really go fine dining with paper plates.
So much for all those greenwashing efforts.
Basically, so, or as George Carlin would say, the planet's going to be fine. The people are fucked. Because the planet's going to shake us off like a bad case of fleas.
The planet plus plastic.
I'm so glad you've seen that because it's actually
when he died, I played the entirety of his recordings in the car because that would have been 2008, during which I had the first Tacoma, which had a USB input. So I had a flash drive full of nothing but George Carlin in it. So listened to the everything. And then there was the one more special that was released posthumously maybe 2 years ago. I kind of like it when a whole lot of people die.
Yep.
Ironically recorded September 10th, 2001.
Yeah. There's that. The books are great too. Napalm
Yep.
and Silly Putty, and then
Well, when will Jesus bring the pork chops?
So, but
I don't know if his older brother Patrick is still alive, but he narrated the biography of him. That
Really? Oh, a younger brother, right?
Older brother.
Older.
Patrick's older.
Wow.
Looks and sounds just like him, though.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I don't know. I don't know if he's still alive, but him narrating this book after George died definitely sounded eerily like him.
I'm glad I got to see George. I saw George for my 16th birthday.
That's so cool. About a year ago, Kelly Carlin, his daughter, sold his BMW 850, and I posted something on Facebook about it. And it's like, so what else do they have at his garage? She probably responded with what answer?
What doesn't he have in his garage?
Think one word. Think him. Stuff.
Oh.
Bravo, Ms. Carlin. Bravo.
He actually stayed humble. I was listening to, I think it was the big one with Rogan and Bill Burr, and I think it was just Bill Burr and Rogan. And Bill Burr was actually saying that he met him one time, and Rogan and Carlin were at the same thing. And, Rogan opened for him because he was just an opener then. And he said George actually came up to him when he got it. He's like, "Great set. How's the crowd tonight? Are the crowd okay, man?" He's like, even George Carlin, even George Carlin would get a little bit, how's the crowd? He wouldn't be like, "I'm gonna go out there and tear these motherfuckers out." Like, I feel like you, as an entertainer, though, like even I don't. What I just said, I didn't mean to compare myself to George Carlin, but like what I do, I've played hundreds of, if not thousands, of shows. And even I get a little bit like, okay, get it together. It's even a place you played a million times.
Not all the butterflies in your stomach remain cocooned.
I knew I shouldn't have finished that last of that tequila bottle.
Hey, maybe it works, maybe it didn't. I just made that one up.
But I agree. Like, I mean, I don't necessarily. If you're going to shut down, it would be kind of the same thing as keeping a supermarket open, but closing down like a corner store. They sell the same things.
Yeah,
it's just a different business model.
Just one's got higher markups. Look at you, corner store.
A loaf of bread for $5. What is it made with? This is goose proof.
Interesting. What happens if you feed the goose proof bread?
I don't want to know. Same thing where you put the cat and the butter with the...
It's your anti-gravity device.
Yes. Are you out of beer? I'm almost out of beer. Uh-oh. Steve, I kind of think we should do that marshmallow thing first.
Do we have to start a fire?
It was always burning since the world's been turning.
Thanks, Billy.
I think we should do that. I'm
Yes.
gonna pick that up since I know which bottle it is and where it is.
It's in the beer fridge. Duh.
I literally
Got any more brain busters?
Rizzuto.
Rurudo. High five. Here, Mike.
That's the second time I've done this. I literally do not know how much I paid for this. I just saw the description and I went, "Yep, that sounds good. Let's do that." Tell everybody about it while I'm finishing my early times.
All right. According to this, you paid 45274669226.
Well, I'll just type it into and see how much the shopping is.
The Westbrook 10th anniversary PBU Haze 22 NER-12L. This label is worthless. 10% ABV, Imperial Stout brewed with peanut butter, hazelnut, marshmallow, and vanilla. This is the Westbrook 10th anniversary everything stout. For our 10th anniversary, we imagined a nutty, roasty, and gooey combination of peanut buttery, roasted hazelnutty, and marshmallowy. Thank you for all the fabulous years. Bottled on the 3rd of December.
Cool.
So, it's recent.
I also got a Bourbon County from 2020.
Ooh.
But I have a 2017 in there that I'm just cellaring.
I didn't inquire greatly about the goose aisles at the Concord Mills Total Wine the other day. Instead, picked up more wine boxes because that's been our drink of choice at the McNick's household.
I feel like we should rinse these out to get the
full effect.
I think so.
All right. Need me to go hammer that out since you just fetched the bottle?
Yeah, I guess so. I'm going to try to find that. Oh, it was only $12.
Hey.
Fuck yeah. Can't beat that.
Is that what that 12L was?
No.
12 lira, which would be worth nothing in Italy back when that was still a thing.
Well, it's too bad we don't have 12 liters of this. This was a Total Wine thing, which I got a bunch of good stuff from Total Wine. I don't know if we're going to get to it all today. If we do, Steve may not make it to work tomorrow. And while I might be okay with that, he most certainly is not. While he is rinsing out the glasses, I am here to tell you Merry Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, Festivus, all that good stuff. Thank you guys for the continued support. We love doing this, and we love our viewers and listeners. So cheers to you fine folks. While we... Oh, yeah. I forgot the... You know what? It was cool when I got up here, but now that I've been drinking, I'm kind of warm.
Uh-huh.
You?
Yep.
Fan?
I'm always warm, though.
Same. But do they take your temperature at work?
Yep.
What is your temperature usually?
Anywhere in mid-96 to mid-97.
Me too. And I think
Which
if you're...
so funny that we run hot, but our temperature does not reflect that.
Wow.
Or back when I woke up fearing COVID-y, I went and picked up a couple of oral thermometers.
No.
Or it could do other. Oh, my.
I mean, it's only
that
an oral
wound
thermometer.
Up, yeah. It's
Nominally.
only labeled as such.
Yes.
Anywho, yeah, I tested that a few times, and then it came in at anywhere between 98.0 and 98.5. Still beneath the standard operating temperature, but it's all just an infrared forehead scanner, zap.
Yeah.
Here you go.
What is that?
And then I start making suspense noises just to freak whoever did it out.
No, you should make
there's a kind of
no. You should make
97.2.
You should make the fucking not the LA law, the fucking doom doom. Let's see what this. Oh Jesus Christ! It smells like a fucking Reese's Cup s'mores.
You're gonna like the way it tastes. I guarantee it.
I'm not sure I taste any of the shit that's... Well, okay, there's the peanut butter. I don't think I taste the marshmallow.
Mine's coming in more hazelnut coffee-ish. And that's okay.
Yeah, still not bad. What was the ABV? 10.
So it's a 10 for 10.
Maybe I should go back and get more. If some is good, more is better. Unless it's a disease. Well, Steve, I found a surprise. Before we get into the music side, how about we go to the music side? Sound good to you? Cool.
Wait a minute.
Friday's top 25 songs on Ultimate Guitar that describe 2020.
Oh, boy.
Alrighty. I love Ultimate Guitar. It's almost how I learned how to play guitar. So, these are songs that describe this unconventional year of 2020. Based on the votes and 200 comments, we summed it down to the top 25. 25 is Cattle Decapitation, a song called Bring Back the Plague. Now, have you seen any videos or heard any music from Cattle Decapitation?
You told me about this, and that sounds a little heavy for my tastes.
Oh, the video is much heavier than the music. The video to Forced Gender Reassignment, I cannot get out of my head.
I saw Lamb of God open for Mastodon and Death Clock years ago, and whatever imagery was on the screen was nightmarish.
Mm-hmm. However, Mastodon's, if you listen to them talk and everything, they're normal dudes, and their cover of Again from Alice in Chains is
you finally found the one Mastodon song you liked, and of course it's from AIC.
Did I let you listen to that?
Yeah.
Oh, it was fucking boss.
That said, like, I want to like Macedon. I want to like them a lot. I'm still stuck on Crack the Sky.
Yeah.
A little bit points elsewhere, but I could play that one back over and over. But no, whatever before, whatever after, just not my thing unless it's Joseph Merrick.
Same.
And that's an instrumental.
And unfortunately, for like the name, I'm so mad that I did. Well, they were been out for a long time, but like that is the coolest fucking name because
I made a Macedon playlist of all my favorite songs of theirs. Care to take a stab at what I named it? Think
Elephantitis?
No.
Oh.
Think Sesame Street.
Snuffleupagus.
Yes.
As you should. Steve,
It
I've never
was
heard.
very difficult to try to figure out how to even come close to spelling that so I could name it properly. So it lives on Spotify.
Snuff a loop out just. I've never heard of the Specials, but they had a song called Ghost Town.
They're like proto-ska.
Like 80s? Or the video looks 80s.
Sure. Specials. What was the title of the song?
Ghost Town. All traditional spelling. The Specials. I've never even heard of the band, much less the song. Oh, Adam. Adam does more obscure stuff and modern and new stuff, right? Like indie.
If you need to find out any good new music, ask him.
Okay.
Like I showed you that he had 3 episodes of his own SoundCloud thing that he goes and outlines. But yeah, whatever he digs up is gold.
Okay, cool.
That's how I discovered Temples, which is Tame Impala all over again, and that's okay.
Gotcha. His car history might be a little more boring than most. I would argue Emily's car history is more boring than his. Because it's the same fucking car.
Blue 99 Accord,
14
Blue
years
11
apart.
Accord.
98. 13 years apart. Yep.
I thought the joke was that she went from a 99 to an 11, therefore she has to go to a 22.
No, it was 98.
Close enough.
Yeah, around. It's the same car.
That wedge box, sure. Versus he went from a 92 Mazda 626 to an 04 Corolla and may or may not acquire his parents' mid-teens Hyundai Sonata. I keep egging him on, like, you need to get a hatchback. If you want to, like, haul giant-ass art projects, you need a Matrix, a Vibe, a Scion IM. And for the love of Allah, get another stick shift, man. The Mazda was, the Corolla's not.
I didn't realize Adam could drive a stick.
Yep. Back when I first met him, he had the Mazda. It had a trunk that was a different color from the rest of the car because the original trunk had been bashed in by something. And I'd seen that somewhere along the way.
He needs a Mazda Millennia.
Yeah, but... Yeah, it's like Mazda Millennia, but with a stick swap from a Mazda 6. Better yet, just a Mazda Millennia with the entire drivetrain swap from a Mazda 6.
All right, kids, we're going to teach you how to waste money today.
Yes.
But I love the Millennia. Way it looked.
That was a good-looking car.
Oh, fuck yeah. And supercharged.
What the hell is a motorcycle? Maybe that's why you don't see them anymore.
Jeez. All right, so my...
Were they trying to make a piston engine a rotary at the same time? Is that why this backfired so badly?
It's a pissery. Before you drank.
And that's why I'm no longer allowed in a Catholic church.
My employee and my birthday buddy, Tevin, who looks just like Questlove, the drummer, in size and color and hair, he's looking for himself his very first motor vehicle.
Ooh.
He walks to work because he lives right there near the store.
With a big neighborhood behind it, ish, or
okay,
in front
so
of it,
not
or
the
somewhere
one behind it. But yeah, if you go up Harrisburg Road, turn left at that. It's
close enough.
It's a 8-minute walk, so it's not that bad. But I'll pick him up when the weather's really bad. But the absolute biggest sweetheart of a dude you'll ever meet, and he's like,
this is when we should have kept either the Cherokee or the Vibe for stick trainer.
Well, I told him I would sell him that Cherokee, and he said, he goes, I really like sticks. He said, I just don't want my first car to be one. I said, no, that's fair.
How about your second one in a hurry, son?
Yeah. So I picked him out 2 cars today. He said his budget was $2,500.
Okay.
I asked him, what he likes. He goes, I just really need good, reliable transportation. So I found him an '05 4-door Civic EX with 205,000 miles.
It's broken in.
Mm-hmm. It's an automatic.
And that'll come with the bells and whistles and sunroof.
The interior is perfect. It's the 3rd owner, and they wanted $2,650 for it. I was like, that's some wiggle room. And then I found him a 1-owner Honda Pilot of the first year of the Pilot.
How important is fuel efficiency to him?
He lives walking distance to the store.
Would he be going anywhere else? Is he aware that he'd be going anywhere else?
No.
Because if a Pilot's going to be significantly hungrier than the Civic.
True. And I asked him, I was like, this Pilot's a 1-owner, and it's cheaper. That was $2,550. It had 200,000 miles, but it's a Honda, so it doesn't matter.
Did they have the transmission replaced?
No.
Those V6 automatics...
Really?
That's the tipping point of those. Between those, the Odysseys, the Acura TLCLs of similar vintage, that's worrisome.
He likes the Civic better.
Okay.
He said he's always loved Civics because I think his grandmother had a Civic. But somebody he loves Civics, and I had a Civic till I totaled it.
Yeah. Cheap Pilot, good, but that transmission's worrisome. The Civic's a known quantity to just be bulletproof.
Yep, and
hopefully not literally.
Dude, I told him,
so inside looks good, outside looks okay.
I might buy it, and then just clean it up, flip it. Well, I tried to talk him. He likes the chair. Like I showed him a chair. I was like, "What about one of my old Cherokees? An automatic? Because I know how to work on every. I should know how to work on it by now."
And all right, so it's got the wrong transmission, but. Nope, they still start, they still run, and back in high school when my friends were getting their licenses, a lot of 88 Cherokees in those ranks, and many wrongfully equipped, but they managed to withstand what we call the Weaver 500, going from this auxiliary school campus to our standard school because we have 0 period or early classes here. Then racing back to school, back to the other standard class, during which I almost slide tackled an 18-wheeler in the Volvo.
So yeah, I've been car shopping for other people is so much fun.
At least until they start getting argumentative about it. That's the Mr. Smoking Tire effort of it that. He'll say this, and then what they really want is their choice to be validated. But once their choice is probably wrong.
I redlined the Wrangler in first and second gear a couple of days ago, only to discover, because I didn't realize this engine
Does it get bouncy?
It has variable valve timing. The Pentastar 3.6 has VTEC.
Okay. At least.
Because it was a noticeable change high up in the RPM. I went,
what, and going from what? Does it rev to 6? So going from 5 to 6K?
Actually,
or,
it revs to, god damn it. Moron, we look up shit. 3.6 liter Pentastar.
Let me Google that for you, Pod.
6,400 RPMs.
That's on par with my 2ZR at 6,500.
Yeah. 6 quarts of 5W20. 3 gallons of antifreeze. No, 14 quarts of antifreeze. Holy God.
Okay.
That's a lot of fucking coolant.
3.5.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
All right. But by the way, that's a good. I love the 4-liter for the character, but it's the 3.6 is
the magic of the extra power and smaller displacement. And the technology has done a thing, and like we said in previous pods, that they keep putting it in everything. You know, never mind how embarrassing a V6 Challenger is.
It will run
It will still work.
Yeah, the engine will run forever. The QC in the interior plastics might be questionable, but the thing is, in the Jeeps,
we had a Scat Pack Charger run through today.
Unfortunate name, but
that too, but complete with the Rumblebee mascot.
Yeah,
like that's always a fun time when those make it through.
Yeah, like there's a reason the Challengers and the you know the Durango has a Hellcat model now.
Yep.
Did you watch the Demuro video?
I didn't, but I know exactly what to expect.
It's stupid. It's so stupid, but it's so fun, and I'm so glad. Like FCA makes the most fun cars now. Like they just do. They just do.
It's a shame I really do not care for the Dodge Dart at all, but a Abarth powered one sure sounds fun.
It does. Let's get an XJ Cherokee and manual 3-point. Let's do the Pentastar. That thing would fly.
Oh, yeah. An extra 100 horses.
I'm sucking the beer off the paper.
Does the engine weigh less?
It's got to weigh less.
Because it's probably more aluminum, and it's not,
an inline 6.
An update of 1950s tech.
And
apparently
engines.
the 2ZR revs to 66.
You got me by 100 RPM.
Woohoo!
Mine might could do it
or
once.
Or mine dropped 1700 from the 2ZZ. Never mind how foolish it is to rev that thing. I did kick it to 8 a few times.
Wait, the vibe. The vibe. Okay.
It's like it's raining. I'm stuck in traffic on the BGP.
Yeah.
Let's move.
I would every time I drive the S2K, I would give it the beans, and it just took it. Because the F20C is just one of the best engines ever. But so did you find anything else about the specials?
Stop looking.
All right, fair. That's fair.
I got a feeling it's early white boy ska. It's going to be concurrent with the police doing the same thing, but what I've heard of them, they do it better. Or better yet, your disdain for the Clash, when they get more scarific, is really going to make you hate them.
Yikes. So if you've ever heard anybody do a cover of Every Little Thing She Does Is Magic, it will not sound anything like the original. Do you know why?
They produce the hell out of a lot of their studio stuff.
Yeah,
because that was
right,
a new series on whatever satellite station it was. The Breaking the Band, an episode on the police.
Yeah,
and Sting really running away with the spotlight. Surprise!
You're right, but you didn't get specific enough, and I'll explain it to you. They recorded the song, and then they sped the entire, or not sped it up, but they pitched it up like 14 cents. So even like on a piano, you couldn't, unless you manually tuned the piano to 14 cents sharp. Then Coldplay did the same thing on The Scientist, which is my favorite Coldplay song. It's one of my favorite. I love The Scientist.
They call me clocks.
I love clocks too, but they sped the tape up like 15. Like
so do I. But you've seen the wall of the stairs of my house to replicate the wine vault.
It's worse than the wine. I don't know why you would do that. Like other than just having a masochistic streak in you, why you would do that?
Well, for it's worth, I only had one clock running, and it already died. It was real funny seeing just like it had a second hand on it. Well, still has a second hand, but it's like just ticking back and forth. Like, well, after a year, this battery's shot. Guess what's not being set? That's what's not being updated for daylight savings time. Guess what I won't worry about until we move.
23 was The Offspring. Shit is fucked up.
Yes.
I don't remember which album that was on.
I don't know. I know the song, and it's not good, but it's appropriate.
It's extremely appropriate. Ailstorm. Fucked with an anchor.
Oh, my.
Now, that's not a nice thing to say.
But which end? I'll never look at the Rhode Island state flag the same way.
Either end's going to suck, but one significantly more. Blue Oyster Cult, Don't Fear the Reaper. It's a lazy
which
choice.
Which is funny
but
how very relaxed that song is.
even the manic part is still easy listening. But I'm sure back then it was just like this to hear it. That's the third time I've hit this mic stand. Richard Cheese, baby, stay the fuck away from me.
What, he did an original?
I guess. You know this year's been awesome if someone like
otherwise-
Richard Cheese can describe it.
Or for what it's worth, his cover of Down with the Sickness.
Let's listen to Stay the Fuck Away From Me, because I don't think Richard Cheese is going to care about this too much. I got to turn the speakers on for this.
Yeah, you crank up those coin slots.
Welcome to Fabulous Richard Cheese and Lounge Against the Machine. Damn it. Where's the speaker in this?
Or that silver part.
You have the most beautiful face I've ever seen. But statistically, you've probably got COVID-19.
I thought he was retired.
And now you're at 30.
I thought he was retired.
I think yes, but for a special occasion, since I think his voice was not doing well.
It was so weird because it's not hard stuff to sing he was doing. He just... Sometimes your voice
Believe you
just gets
me,
out.
if I could do that, which I can and will.
You should. You should just take the throne from the cheese. Tool, Fear Inoculum.
The whole album.
I guess so.
It took us 13 years to make this, and little do you know, it's going to be appropriate next year. That's
Jeez.
how that works.
Yeah. Queensryche, Spreading the Disease.
I think I have the Anthrax CD of the same title.
Where Queensryche's from Brett.
No, they're from Seattle, because they're the ones that did Jet City Woman.
Oh. Who was I thinking of?
Queen.
Maybe I was thinking of Shrike. Steel Panther. Fuck 2020.
Haven't heard that one.
I have not either.
It can all be just like Tiger Woods.
I haven't heard that
That's
one.
probably my favorite song of theirs.
Really? I liked the oh my god, which one was it? I don't remember it. They got so many good ones. Tony Iggy, Astronomia. Okay. Don't know who that is. Oh, I think it's the Nigerian guys with the dancing to the carrying the coffin. Have you seen that meme?
No, best I can do is the opening to Roger Moore's first Bond film.
Man
But
in the Box. It's 15. That's amazing.
Can you sew them shut?
Slayer, Seasons in the Abyss. At least we hope you enjoyed some nice riffs during this pandemic. The Ramones, I Want to Be Sedated. 2020, 24 hours to go. The video to that was so great. Who knew they were...
Funny because we could have talked about the music of 1977 when the Ramones made their break to give birth to punk rock.
We
Ironically
can still
also,
do that. I think we should actually do that instead. Because there's some actually really good albums that came out in 77.
Saturday Night Fever soundtrack, y'all.
I saw that too. Let's do that instead. Cause
All right. That was my wonderful idea this morning, and then, by golly, I was too damn busy the rest of the day.
it happens. Napalm Death, You Suffer. Weirdly enough, this song is not at the top of the list. Iron Maiden, When the Wild Wind Blows. I've not heard that song.
If it's not Iron Maiden from 1980 something, I can't help you.
Maybe it was the Blaze Bailey era. The Doors, The End, and I don't like the Doors, so moving on. Soundgarden, Fell on Black Days.
I remember that playing at like Subway when I was a teenager, and Dad thinking, Man, that's a really dark sounding song. It's good, but it's dark. It's like, oh yes, you know.
Why,
Oh yes, you know.
why is it though that listening to this is funny because when I was underneath the Jeep for the 400th time, my neighbor, the gamer, the 50-year-old female gamer, was out there. We were just talking, and we were talking about how sad. She goes, "Why is it that sad music makes you feel like if you're in a bad mood, but if you listen to sad music, it makes you feel happy?" I said, "Well, that's the reason nobody likes the song Shiny Happy People." It just is what it is. Number 8, Steve, you're going to love. Slipknot, people equal shit. Is this why everyone hoarded toilet paper?
Pay no attention to what's in the back of my car after my blast run from last weekend because I'm bad at cleaning out car. Oh wait, have hatchback. Leave hatchback full of shit or shit paper and shit paper towels.
You know the only thing I have in the Jeep besides my CDs, which is dating me so fucking old, is the hard top.
Do you have to
cover.
go on Match.com to date yourself, or is it Ancestry?
It's lighter.com. Oh wait, not Match.
Grinder.
Gee. Hoagie. Hoagie.com is the diet grinder. And my toolbox. That's it. I don't carry anything else. I don't even like carrying any. We are Brian and I had this discussion the other day, and this is hilarious. And it's true, and it's totally us. Here's the difference between me and you. He laughed so hard he almost spit his beer out. He's like, here's the difference between me and Steve. Steve and I will both go out and buy $1,000 worth of shit we don't fucking need, and I will have one thing, and Steve will have 1,000 things. Steve's the king of finding, like, ridiculous cheap shit he doesn't need, and I'm the king of finding expensive shit that I don't need.
Next on This Is Why You're Broke.com.
I hit the wrong button. I don't know what button I just hit.
Uh-oh. Is it still recording?
Yes.
Hooray.
Say something loudly.
Loudly. Something.
All right.
Backwards.
Yeah, it's still working. I hit whatever. It's still recording, so I guess it doesn't matter.
I think all the controls are down at the bottom, so you're in good shape.
We've also been recording for 1,877 measures.
That's what that is. I kept wondering, what the hell is that?
That's measures, and that's obviously the time. And I could speed this record, but we're not going to do that.
We're not trying to play every little thing she does as magic on piano.
George Thorogood, I Drink Alone with nobody else. Megadeth, Countdown to Extinction.
Oh, man. Played a bunch of Megadeth back in the day.
Mm-hmm. Now we've reached the top 5.
Mustaine's off the deep end now.
Let's be honest. Mustaine's kind of
always
been off the deep end.
Yeah.
So we've reached the top 5. Number 5, Steve. I Have a Hurricane. Listen to yourself churn. World serves its own needs regardless of your own needs. Feed it up a notch. Strength. Grunt. No strength. No. What is it?
It's the end of the world as we know it, and I feel fine. Do. All enough.
Go ahead.
Is there a guy in REM also named Peter Green?
You should probably get that looked at.
Yeah. Because that was like one of the founding members of Fleetwood Mac per the initial idea for this app. And it's like, you know what? No. 1977 in music it is. Thanks to Sound Ops for having the year that punk broke.
Okay. Steve, number 4 is a
Never mind, punk was bleeding, but not broken.
Oh.
Busted knuckle. I think it'll buff out. Don't know if the pillowcase will be able to be washed out, but I set on fire.
She was playing the bloody knuckle game on the bus with all the other kiddies.
Yeah, that's it.
Number 4. Number 4 is also from the Police, and it's incredibly appropriate for someone who is trying to do social distancing.
Don't stand so close to me.
Yes, even though that's not what the song is about. But I've pointed out to Emily that that should be the theme song to her parents getting together, because he was her tutor. Moving on. Monty
This girl is half his age.
Yeah. Monty Python. Always look on the bright side of life. Was that in the Life of Brian?
Sounds right.
I think it was. All right, Steve. This is our favorite industrial band talking about how things just look kind of the same as they always do.
Every day is exactly the same.
Yes.
Which was better done when you're a copy of a copy of a copy.
I love that song. That's what they came out to when we saw them. When we saw him.
Him and the band and whatever. I love to have studio redos of how that concert was done back in 2014.
Yeah.
Like, it's been updated, and it's awesome, and I fear I will never hear this again.
Steve, number one is so fucking funny because I don't think you've heard it. It's it's the worst cover of any song I've ever heard any human being do.
Landslide by the Smashing Pumpkins.
It is so much worse than that. I would rather be beaten half to death with a wooden cooking spoon. It's Puddle of Mud covering About a Girl. And it sounds like... Okay, so Puddle of Mud, actually, look, it's not great, but it fits the music.
They tried really hard to be grunge after grunge was no longer a thing.
I'm fucking playing it. Like, I got to turn the speakers back up. It's so bad.
I can't control you.
It's so much worse than you think it is. Because he actually can cover...
I can't or won't see you every night.
He's covered a Nirvana song before, and it doesn't sound horrible. This is the worst thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
Is this one of those songs when, like, each passing thing, like, gets knocked off?
No,
one
it's
more.
No, it's even worse than that.
Channel.
Because it's supposed to be serious.
I don't.
This was recorded. This was recorded and, like, released. Why would you do that to yourself? Why would you do that to yourself? And that is the official song of 2020. Can you disagree with it? Steve, snap out of it. There's no more.
It's going to start chewing on the bottom.
Believe it or not, it's actually coming through the mic.
Good. I can hear it too.
That's the official song of 2020. Can't say I disagree.
That really puts the asses in embarrassing.
Yeah. Nothing I've ever done has been that bad. Nothing you've ever done has been that bad musically. Doesn't that make you feel...
There was a time that, I could go do karaoke and stuff and do a half-decent job of it. Yeah.
Now
I could honestly say I've never had anything come close to sounding that bad. And I even tried to do Aces High by Iron Maiden. By the way, do not try to cover that ever, because it's impossible.
Did I ever tell you...
That's far and away my most embarrassing karaoke night, was trying to do that. You know how fast that fucking song is? And after, $5 a beer at Jackalope Jack's, back when that meant something, back when that was a place, I missed that place a bunch, man. My Thursday night karaoke nights were so much fun back in the day, man.
And now I've been...
and now it's an apartment.
Well, 2 weeks ago, I got taken to Jack Beagle's for the first time.
Over in Noda. Next to the 101.
Yep.
Next to... I couldn't even tell you if Salvador Deli is still a thing or not. Next to Miscellaneous Car Parts Shop. I've never seen anybody shopping at, but they would always have a stray Wagoneer parked out front.
A Stragoneer. A Stragoneer. A Straggler.
Which means
Straggler-neer.
we should steal it.
Fuck yeah. And Hellcat Wagoneer. That's the official car of this spot. Hellcat Wagoneer would be great. I don't want it to handle. I want it to sit like your grandmother's couch. I want it to run 10-second quarter mile.
I'm going to replace the wood grain with fake carbon fiber, though.
No, do wood on one side and carbon fiber on the other side.
Oh, wait, no. Checkerboard.
The black and white. Like the
black,
barbershop.
black and white checkerboard.
Yeah, we could do that. What do you want next? We could do another Voodoo or New Belgium, or I got plenty of weird shit to have.
Weird shit to have.
You want to do that gingerbread?
Yes.
Yeah, let's do that. Fuck.
You saw it here, folks. He's paper, I'm Skizzors. Therefore, he gets to play fetch.
I want a table and saucer playing this one time.
Hey, for what it's worth, I did just go rinse the glasses prior to the last one, so, like, whatever, man.
That's fair.
A ginger Guinness. Is this not the most Irish-sounding beer ever? Never mind, it's brewed in Baltimore.
I feel like if you open it, Conan O'Brien will jump out of it.
Go on.
I love that podcast so much, and Sona Obsession is just a doll.
Is she your new obsession?
No, I'm not allowed to have another. Damn it, I gotta... We're not sharing a bottle. I don't know why I chugged that.
Force of habit.
Oh, wow. That's gingerbread heavy.
Suck it, Reeds.
Holy
Yes.
shit. That was a good call. That was $10 for 4-pack. God damn, that's fuck. Brian, we miss you, buddy. Brian Layton was going to be our first 4-peat guest because, surprise, we haven't had a repeat guest yet. he funnily enough, he said, I don't want to wear out my welcome. Like, I don't want it to be, like, weird. I was like, look, nobody's sent us a bunch of emails saying, hey, don't have that dude on anymore. So,
yeah.
And it's the episodes with the guests actually get more traction.
We are the reverse smoking tire. Did you hear the thing when he's talking about, like, he's worried about, like, having particular caliber of guests now? Like,
yeah.
Oh, man. You've gone a little too LA with that one.
They do enough now, and they get enough revenue. They just closed on their house. He opened what? I think they're okay.
Have who you want on your show.
It's your show. You're doing better than we are combined.
Yeah, because you have more Lamborghinis than us, and more Ferraris than us, and more BMWs than us, and
yeah,
more Porsches than us, and more weird-ass Mitsubishi vans than us. You've also had more Crown Vics than us, more Miatas than us.
Man, you know what?
More... How much was that fucking Mustang for that?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Talk about a waste of money. IRS swapping a Mustang Fox body is... You just set the Benjamins on fire at that point. Says the man who's...
What?
Look...
That's your Puff Daddy reference for the day, man.
Before we get into albums...
He was like the Kanye West of the 90s.
Before we get into albums of 1977, what is the dumbest thing you've done automotively to a vehicle you've owned?
Crash the VR666.
All right, well,
okay,
not so something you've done, like, where when you tried to sell it, you go, Jesus Christ, I shouldn't have done that.
Trade the Vibe with a brand new set of tires. Traded the 97 Tacoma with a brand new set of tires. That, it's April, and hey, maybe it's time to get new car. Oh, this thing just underwent $400 worth of work. That's the quickest two. Just it's Christmas. Let's get some tires on this thing I'm not keeping.
Get
When at the time, didn't quite realize that that's going to be it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, hey, maybe you never know, but that's been some literal tire kickers.
Well,
So it seems like every year for Christmas, I want tires. Don't kill them this time, or get rid of the car this time, because now I have tires. Just need them installed and need another clear day and daylight to get another coat of paint on them. But they're coming along nicely.
Yeah.
And one of these days, I'll put the saber-tooth fog lights on it to make it look like a shrunken Outback.
Well, I did.
How much do I miss? I've never had to replace a clutch.
I did the clutch in the Cherokee, but then I sold it 6 months later, or 7 months later. No, November. All of November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June. 10. Okay, never mind. That was 10 months.
All right, but for what it's worth, that's not going to be an easy job, but at least it's not like you change a clutch on a front driver where it's way more compact and terrible.
Mm-hmm. I think the thing I regret the most was the Starion, because I ripped the AC out of it, which is fine because that's easy to fix. What I regretted doing was two things that made it much harder to sell. One was I took the wipers off, which is fine, but then one day I was like, I'm just going to take the wiper motors out too. So I took the wiper motors out. And then the wiring harness was...
Do you have to take the dash out for any of this?
No. The wiper motors are almost in the engine bay or in the cowl. You take the cowl off and it's in there. But rather than rewire it, because it was finicky anyway, the wire harness was chewed through or whatever.
Well, it's already
I
underwater,
cut it.
so...
So to put wiper, it would have been such a hassle. That, and when I put the new steering wheel in... So
did you sell it with a case of Rain-X, or how did this work?
He drove it back to... Hey, it's his problem now. It's not my problem.
What was it? He drove it back to
Charleston? He drove up
had...
with a buddy in a truck, and they took the parts. It had like 9 banana boxes of parts to go with it. The other one was when I did the steering wheel. And I changed the steering wheel when I was 22 years old. So let's 21. So let's not judge too much from me of 13 years ago. So I got the
dumb shit you do in your early 20s. Like, I think the statute of limitations is over to say that in the VR 666 on a good day when it's running, hit $130 in Kannapolis in it.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, I-85. You're sometimes a pal.
Sometimes.
Something impossible in every car since.
Did I rent the steering wheel puller? No. What did I do? I beat the fuck out of the steering column with a mallet. Finally got the steering wheel off. But then I couldn't get the nut back on the steering column. So what did I do? Put a series of worm clips on it to keep the steering wheel on so nobody could pull it off. In its defense,
it wasn't a bolt-on sort of thing, or
so the steering column is threaded on the outside. So what it was the steering wheel. Because so the Starion did not ever come with airbags,
right? Because
so it was just a steering wheel
mid to
on it,
late 80s,
and then a nut all the way down. Well, the top of it, if you hit it hard enough, you could break it loose. I could get the old steering wheel off. I finally broke it loose, pulled it off. But then I hit it with the mallet so much that it warped the threads and I couldn't get the nut back on.
Ooh.
So I put the Rally Art Mitsubishi steering wheel on and I put like 3 worm clips as tight as I could get them with a torque wrench without breaking the worm clips, which I broke 2 of them. Put those on there. And in its defense, if you couldn't move, like it was solid, but I had told the guy when I drove, I was like, just so you know. Because you put the steering wheel on and then tighten it, and then you put the cover on
like,
it.
Hey, you're buying a 30-year-old car. Good luck.
Mm-hmm. So now, when I do things to vehicles, I make sure everything I do is reversible. And tint. Like, I always used to do the darkest tint and try to find somebody. Now I just go legal with it. But having an SUV,
it's less an issue.
It's
But
not an issue at all.
The S2000 never saw daylight, so that wasn't an issue.
Even that was legal.
That was?
It had to be because the hard top was different than a soft top. If it's a hard top, it's more of a even the soft top. Like if it's a 2-door car,
Yeah.
it has to be legal tint. Sedan, legal tint, but a wagon, you could paint the black windshield, the back windshield black.
Wagon or Sport Ute?
Wagon or sport utility, you can paint the back windshield
What was
black.
a hatchback?
Yours technically would count as a wagon, I think, and it would. You could.
It's that fifth door lifts up.
Mm-hmm. I think you could just paint
And
it
it's not
black.
going to matter because I have a backup camera. I'm going
What's
to
that?
tip my backup camera. Real damn handy considering my stupid driveway.
That's fair. I don't even have
Yeah,
it. My driveway's one car length.
yeah. There are no ditches to fall into.
Here's a fun. We talked. I don't know if we talked about it the other day about blind spots and side mirrors. Like, I'm such a shit. I should have known that you're not supposed to see your car in your side mirrors.
I like to give myself the door handles. It worked for yours too. To see your door handles, so at least you have some point of reference that
I don't.
yes, it's there.
Now I don't.
Okay, so it's just outside of that.
Just outside. If I can see it in the rearview mirror, I cannot see any car behind me in my 2 side mirrors. So now I see both of my blind spots.
Thanks to leftovers from somebody else's car, I put geyser mirrors on mine.
The
Little 2-inch
circle?
convex ones. Yeah.
Emily's got those on the
Those are
Accord.
so handy. Please tell me they're on the outside part of it, because that's where they belong.
Yep, you're going to name them Jack.
No, that's what I had to pull apart the other day because my car didn't have them except for the one that you gave me.
You didn't.
That's a bit large to. This is not computing.
It's a better Jack, and it was free.
Yeah, it's large and portable, but naming the mirrors
Jack Handy. You said they were handy. Who are you? I thought you were my punny friend. Been a long day.
Very off the rocker day, week. Not thrilled to do the thing tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah. Shall we do albums of 77?
Sure.
I say we do the first one that came to mind because this episode was originally going to be about Fleetwood Mac. But I say
So you're saying
Rumors is their best.
Rumor has it.
Rumors is the best album. So to me, it was.
Ask anybody.
Yeah.
Ask anybody. No one's saying Tusk.
No.
No one's saying Peter Green's Fleetwood Mac.
No. Actually, what I was going to do is the best one album artists, but that was a bit obscure.
That sounds very 78-ish.
Well, Miseducation of Lauryn Hill was in there, and actually that's true. She only had one album. But what is your favorite Fleetwood Mac song? While you're thinking, mine's Go Your Own Way. And it's on Rumors, which was in 77. I actually like Looking Out for Love also, but that was in the 80s. And ironically, both of them are, the lead was sang by Lindsey Buckingham.
Who was the one member of the band to actually be kicked out.
And he shouldn't have been. And he's the most talented member of that band. You know he doesn't play with a guitar pick. He plays with his all fingers. When he's strumming, he strums with the back of his fingernails.
Like fingernails,
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's how he plays guitar. Lindsey Buckingham is a fucking champion.
I was starting to listen to an episode of Sound Opinions with him. It was their 402nd episode, and now they're up to almost 800.
Jeez.
And they played something from a later day Fleetwood Mac release. I did not like the noise coming out of my speakers with that one.
How late?
Like 2012 or so. They're
Jesus.
creeping on 800 episodes. They started in 2005. They've made the show weekly.
Who hosts that?
Greg Kot and Jim DeRogatis of various Chicago media outlets. They recently divorced themselves from WBEZ, the NPR station in Chicago.
Really?
So they've gone completely independent, but continue to be broadcast on WBEZ.
Ah.
It was also the previous home station of This American Life with Ira Glass, the man who looks exactly like my previous valet boss, Jamie Duncan.
It is so unfortunate Lindsey Buckingham is not a member anymore.
I almost want to say the Green Melanishi because Judas Priest covered it.
I mean, it's your choice. You technicality.
But what could I say? It's not that funny. From Tusk of 1979. Otherwise, my quick answer would have been Rhiannon.
That's a good one. I went to school with a girl named Rhiannon.
It's also Stevie Heavy. Thankfully, not Rihanna. I hate the song Diamonds so much. I feel Chris Brown was correct.
What about Umbrella? When she says umbrella instead of umbrella. My dad says umbrella. So albums from
For those not on the video, I'm twitching now at this. Like I look like an
You're not playing video games in front of people.
I'm
Wrong twitching. There we go.
I never broadcast my video games to the masses.
We should do that with us playing really shitty old games.
Have you heard of James Rolfe and the Angry Video Game Nerd Empire?
Yes.
That guy's
okay,
awesome.
They do that. Never mind.
Yeah, like there's a lot of them.
All right,
and apparently there's room for more.
All right, we have our own thing. Let's just keep doing our own thing. Never mind the bollocks from the Sex Pistols.
You can do your own thing.
Yeah.
Which is real awful to see that being co-opted for some drug ad.
Elvis Costello's first album, My Aim is True. Actually, he's not allowed to play on Saturday Night Live anymore.
Who is he leaving of fear?
So he was supposed to play one song, and he played another song that they didn't like. That was like anti corporations, and he wanted to play that one instead. So it's like, man, Elvis Costello is more rock and roll and metal than I thought.
He's stirred a lot along the way.
Talking Heads, 77.
Yep.
Oh, and we got some more punk.
God save the Queen! Shun a human being! From the Sex Pistols. Meanwhile, the opposite of punk, Supertramp. Give a little bit.
Give a little bit of your love
to
Wait,
me.
was Logical on that one? I actually like that song. I don't want to, but
it's all right.
at the very end.
Which is funny if you were to listen to Supertramp and the Bee Gees back to back, you're gonna have a real tough time telling the falsetto apart. Never mind the 77, Saturday Night Fever, the Bee Gees' biggest hits coming off of that. Did you see the HBO doc?
No.
By the way, that's a thing that is the most heartbreaking variant of Behind the Music ever.
Yeah.
Never mind. I'm pretty sure they had their actual Behind the Music, but they rose to superstardom in this very brief moment of time. Never mind a generous catalog before and after, but it's always going to be High Pitched Disco Man.
Yeah.
Which is a tragedy, which was 2 years after the SNL soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the latest CGH breakdown too. It's like the sheer badassery of the instrumentation of that is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
But I do not blame people for finding Barry Gibb's voice off-putting. That it's a tragedy.
It's a little much. Heroes from David Bowie was 77.
And he's also the only surviving member of the band, too.
Jesus,
so
yes.
it's like,
That's true.
Because it was his brothers in the band. Maurice and Robin have since passed.
Mm-hmm. The Clash. 1977. The Clash, self-titled. Billy Joel, The Stranger. I don't know what was on that one.
He sat on his hand and did stuff.
Which hand?
If he's lefty, it was righty. If he's righty, it was lefty.
Dude, I'm a righty, and I think The Stranger is my normal because the computer mouse is in the right hand. What am I doing with this computer you built me?
I think that would make it a lefty. I ain't touching it. Do what you want. Let's see how this keyboard likes the sanitizer here.
Sanitizer is lube.
All right, Cannibal Corpse.
I think we just found the tagline.
It's sick. It's twisted. It's us.
I don't recognize any songs on The Stranger from Billy Joel. Only the Good Die Young, Scenes from an Italian Restaurant, Vienna.
Dude, Only the Good Die Young got him in hot water with the Catholic Church at the time because it's about him trying to hook up with a Catholic girl. It's such a good song. Scenes from an Italian Restaurant is pretty subdued. That's actually one of the songs that CJH did on Election Day.
Do you know?
With a bottle of red, bottle of white. It's like, fuck this song. Put The Stranger back on because that's so good.
I need to listen to it.
No. Only the Good Die Young.
Only Good Die Young. If you ever go to a Billy Joel concert, you cannot buy front row tickets to Billy Joel concert. The very front row of any Billy Joel concert
is reserved for Christine Brinkley and his daughter Alexa, who was in Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue, and man, is that awkward because she looks a lot like him.
Mm-hmm. No.
Because all their eyes have packed their bags. What?
Not that. You can't buy a front row ticket because they're done by random. So you buy your tickets to Billy Joel concert. And he didn't want only rich people to enjoy a front row seat. So
he McKayed it. It's not going to be a $5 ticket, but it's this general admission.
No, it's not even general admission. It's done by it's random. So they pick random seats. And so say if you bought 25 rows back for $50, but you got picked to be in the front row, you were automatically upgraded to the front. Because he didn't want only hoity-toity people who were only able to buy the tickets.
Because he is from old school Long Island. Like, this is hard-fought fishing community. His song about Allentown, steelworkers in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Just getting shat upon with the demise of that industry. Like, that's Pennsylvania, an hour outside of Philadelphia. That's where a good friend of mine went to college, was in Bethlehem. Mm-hmm. Never mind, next week's holiday.
Yeah. That's
but,
pagan.
Old school. So she was one of my earliest, not religious friends, and that was practically a ski resort.
Yeah.
Which has been real bad news with the pandemic. But hey, for this time of year, it's choice. She bought a blue Subaru, sadly not a WRX, but got a Forester. So I had to send her a picture of flying rally car.
Mm-hmm. As you should. We got Farewell to Kings from Rush, whom we've discussed before, and Street Survivors from Leonard Skinner, not Plane Survivors.
Hey, this would have been a couple years after that one. Let There Be Rock by AC/DC.
That's, Animals from Pink Floyd. Damned from The Damned.
If I recall correctly, that should be Three Dams.
Yes. The Idiot from Iggy Pop.
I've listened to so much The Damned.
Really? Is it good?
When they're good, they're good, and when they're weird, they're weird.
Okay.
The Trouble Damned, fantastic. The Black Album, fantastic. Much later, what was it? Evil Spirits is fantastic.
Yeah.
They've had some really strange stuff along the way. Like went very gothic with 1985's Phantasmagoria.
That sounds like a sex maneuver.
Probably my favorite song of theirs is Jekyll and Hyde, but that's not year appropriate.
Fair. But Jekyll and Hyde is also... I wanted to like that place in Matthews. I like the ambiance. I like the beer.
It's just fucking
I like
expensive.
the women. But it's expensive, and the food is just not
That,
awesome.
oddly enough, was the last place Kaylin and I went to before all hell broke loose.
Really?
That she was getting tires on her car, so we went over to, oddly enough, the Walmart in Matthews because she had a generous ransom of gift cards from her boss.
Right.
So this was effectively half-price tires. Like, all right, well, let's go grab a drink because it's almost St. Patty's Day.
Mm-hmm.
And this was right before the shutdowns, right before any mandates, right before masking was, mandated.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, bumped into Jay Matthew there.
Huh.
He's still looking very well read.
Yeah.
But it was
it's
just
funny.
really weird conversions of events then on, I think it was Pi Day.
Yeah.
And then, that following Monday, we're at the Saucer, and then, what was it, the next day? That's 5 o'clock. It's don't do anything.
Right.
I'm sorry, what?
We played there Christmas Eve last year, and then he was like, "Yeah, we're not going to be doing music too much longer because he says it's not going over very well for the clientele." So totally understand.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
It's a snug space.
Yep.
It's just this little corridor here, then walk through this to get to the bar area, and then you've got a little patio to go scream at the people in the offices across the street.
Mm-hmm.
I like it, but the situation is not ideal for the everything. Knock one of the walls down, open it up a bit.
Yeah. We got Bad Out of Hell.
From Meatloaf.
2 out of 3 ain't bad. And that's the only song I know off that album.
Enduri, New Boots and Panties. The signature track of his was Sex and Drugs and Rock and Roll. That I remember that from CD of the parent of kids I babysat years ago, where the guy's got the album cover is it's his face with Union Jack on his teeth.
Yeah,
so that always stuck out.
Nice.
That's hilarious.
And News of the World from Queen, because the Family Guy episode.
Yes, the record. I made that my Facebook wallpaper for a month after the episode.
That's a long time for you.
Hi, my Dr. Mario virus is up since leap year, and the subsequent 1600 meme bunch of bullshit I've maintained. I think now up to 3 flaggings of stuff on that one.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
excessive. Somebody's not recognizing that this is all bullshit, because this is all bullshit. You're a bullshit. This website's bullshit.
Yes.
And bullshit, y'all.
It's bovine excrement.
I'm going back on MySpace.
Little Queen from Heart. Running on Empty from Jackson Browne. Love Gun from Kiss. Ooh.
Ugh.
And then you got the fascist himself, Mr. Ted Nugent, with Cat Scratch Fever. Pantera did it better. Did you hear the Pantera cover?
Yeah, I didn't like anything they covered, especially Planet Caravan. But
I like Planet Caravan.
I already hated that Black Sabbath song, The Start.
It's
It's such slow bullshit. No, make it Planet Voyager instead. No, better yet, Planet Rutan. For those that don't know,
I don't drive a Volkswagen.
And if you drive that, you still don't.
No.
For those that don't know, there was a brief period of time back in 2010 to 2012 when Volkswagen teamed with Chrysler because they couldn't afford to export their own van to the States. Therefore, you could get a Dodge Caravan branded as a Volkswagen.
As a salad topping.
Yeah. We've had a few. Guess what it drives like?
A Caravan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just... Not to besmirch vanilla, but... You know.
I'm a vanilla fan, not ice.
Did you hear the app when he's on with Hoonigan Man? It's like Vanilla Ice now is easily cooler than early '90s Vanilla Ice.
Mm-hmm. But
He's like super into real estate, so whatever earnings he did, he's doing very well with to keep on keeping on and stay out the spotlight. Like,
yeah.
Are you one hit wonder? Yes. Are you making good life for yourself? Yes. Way to go, dude.
My sister met him at Waffle House and sent me the picture of her and him together, but it's on my old phone that I don't have anymore. She goes, guess who?
Have you ever thought of emailing yourself this stuff?
This was before
man?
even that. She's texting. She guess who is at Waffle House in
Big
Concord.
Hammer.
I'm like, I don't fucking know. She goes, Vanilla Ice. I'm like, prove it. She sent me a picture. I'm like, cool. So she met Mr. Robert Van Winkle.
Van Winkle himself.
Yeah. I don't recognize any of the other albums. The artists, absolutely.
I recognize the name from the Days and Confused soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
Foreigner, that's a good one. Feels like the first time in Cold as Ice. Cold as Ice is awesome.
I've heard that song.
Peter Gabriel, I do not care much for his catalog, and I've
Other
never
than
listened
Sledgehammer.
Yeah.
What was the other Peter? It was in your eyes. Yeah, In Your Eyes is okay.
But like never. Yeah, I've never listened to any of his Genesis playings. Sonic the Hedgehog or not.
Yes.
Oh my. Marvin Gaye's live at the London Palladium.
He died in early 80s, I think. His dad killed him. Jeez.
Yeah, it's probably fucked up.
Yeah.
Judas Priest, Sin After Sin, and
I have got to pee
where's the
wickedly
song of
bad.
that? Do what you got. I'm gonna look up this Judas Priest album in a moment. But Kansas, Point of No, KNOW return. Love that song, and also included Dust in the Wind.
It's 70. I thought it was earlier than that.
77. For those who don't know, AJ's not a Will Ferrell fan, but he needs to watch Talladega Nights and needs to watch Old School. Correct me if I'm wrong, because particularly for the Dustin Wind reference from Old School, loud's a karaoke or not, I think he's going to enjoy this. Now, to look up what the hell was on Sin After Sin by Judas Priest in 77. It's also before Iron Maiden takes the scene. And without Judas Priest, we don't have an Iron Maiden, which frankly, we all like better. Man. Sinner, Diamonds and Rust, Starbreaker, Last Rose of Summer, Let Us Pray with an E, / Call for the Priest, Raw Deal, Here Come the Tears, Distant Aggressor, Race with the Devil, Jawbreaker. Dude, Diamonds and Rust fucking rules.
Which
I was looking up the Judas Priest from 77.
Oh, cool.
Which is a Joan Baez cover.
John Baez?
Joan Baez.
Oh.
Like, if I recall correctly, she dated Steve Jobs.
Oh, Exodus from Bob Marley came out, too. I don't know what that is, because all reggae sounds the same, but...
No, there's Bob Marley, and there's the rest of reggae.
True.
Because the rest of it's kind of whiny garbage.
Parliament.
P-Funk.
Funkadelic and the Placebo Syndrome.
Kalen's brother is obsessed with Parliament.
Really?
And Wu-Tang Clan.
You do know who the guest on WTF was on Thursday, right?
No.
Bootsy Collins.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it was a good
I
one,
was
too.
unaware that Bootsy Collins was in Parliament when I remember Scott, back in the Raleigh days,
Wow.
gave me like a couple of CDs worth of music, and like there's Bootsy Collins on this. Like, the fuck kind of name was Bootsy?
Yeah, but he's well. He Bootsy Collins did a partnership with D-Light with Groove Is in the Heart. By the way, that video, yeah, Lady Miss Kier.
Is it the groove in your heart?
It's. Uh oh, you unplugged yourself. You're back. All right, I got you.
Rachel, what's this thing?
Right.
Yes. High five, my mic.
Those are the really cheap cables, and I use the really expensive ones for the live shows.
Fair enough.
I can make it sound better in here if I have to. Live is different.
Yeah.
And plus I have them wound
post-production
around.
isn't a thing there.
No. Well, if you notice, I have them wound around these things. I'm feeling wings today.
Okay.
I'm happy to drive to
Paul
Peel.
McCartney's band?
No. You silly guy.
I'm trying to see if that even existed by this point in time.
I don't know, but Simply Having a Wonderful Christmas Time is probably the worst Christmas song.
I found a song that beats it.
Actually, me too, but you go first.
Hippopotamus for Christmas.
Repeat what you just said.
Hippopotamus for Christmas.
I don't know what to do with the information you just gave me.
I could try to emulate it for you real quick.
Wait, who
So, yeah.
does it?
Don't know. Don't care. It is high-pitch hot garbage, which I'm not proud to say, but can very well damned say or re-sing the opening lines to it.
Okay.
So, do I torment you and our audience with this? Not saying no.
Give me a rundown.
I want a hippopotamus for Christmas. Pop, 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 pop.
I don't like it.
No,
Uh,
you shouldn't.
And you don't know who does it?
Don't know. Don't care. No, it's just there are the ups and downs at work, and the cacophony of 3 competing Bluetooth speakers at any given time is definitely a low point, especially given the season.
Gala
and the music
Peavy.
brought to you by all of this. Well, good thing you have Mesa Boogies instead of Peavies, huh?
I want a hippopotamus for Christmas. Only a hippopotamus will do. Don't want a doll, no dinky tinker toy. I want a hippopotamus to play with and enjoy.
Yeah, it's just ever since the first time I heard the song, it's like, oh fuck no.
I gotta
and
know
there
what
are
this...
a few people that get way too excited at the stupid song coming on. Like, no. Maybe it's my guilty pleasure when I say, no, give me all the Mariah Carey Christmas.
She's
all
still
right?
alive.
At what, 90?
No, born in 43. She'll be 70. She's 77. Evidently, that was recorded when she was like super, super young. But I never want to hear that.
No.
The worst one that I can think of that they play it's a cover of Jingle Bells, but it's at half speed. And so the woman's like, Jingle Bells, it's so jingle all the way. It's so bad. I'd rather hear my own firing squad.
It's not like you could make her sound like Peter Steele from Typo Negative.
Jingle bells.
Jingle bells.
No, it's way worse than that. But it's like you don't play a song at half speed and make it better normally.
No. If anything, things get sped up. Hence, the Chipmunks or the Police.
The Chipmunk Police.
All right, a couple more of the previously on topic thing. Early Motorhead good.
Mm-hmm.
Already mentioned Queen and Iggy and Rocket to Russia and Linda Ronstadt and Santana's Moonflower. Got a feeling that'd be rad.
Probably.
Never mind the bollocks. Here's the Peck Sisters SNL soundtrack, or SNF soundtrack rather. Star Wars soundtrack. And now, John.
You would know that better than me.
What's his face gonna say?
I like the Seinfeld soundtrack right
Yeah.
here.
It'd be funny as hell to have that as a Star Wars.
So I'm sure that's been somebody superimposed that. If the federal government is watching my search history right now, hippopotamus for Christmas, meatloaf bat out of hell, and 3.6 liter Pentastar V6 red line, they're gonna wonder about me.
They won't. No.
Not like some
You're
people we know.
Not triggering anything from
No.
anything. Super Tramp in the quietest moments. Could you tell me what the hits are on these, you jerks?
Yeah.
Talking Head 77. If it's not... Oh, Psycho Killer's on 77 because that song's awesome. Television Marquee Moon. Select Magazine Better.
Jimmy Carter was inaugurated in 1977. That's nuts.
Just plains nuts.
You know what the number one
George
song?
Thorogood and the Destroyers.
What album?
Self-titled.
I wonder if that had Bad to the
I
Bone on
think
it.
that one had the everything on it.
Bad to the Bone was actually played in an open tuning with a slide guitar. That's how you do that. Tonight's the night.
You have to jerk your guitar off.
Basically. Tonight's the Night is from Rod Stewart, was the number one song of 1977. And then, in true Bee Gees fashion, Steve, I Just Want to Be Your Everything. Andy Gibb.
A solo effort?
I guess so.
That.
Well, I think that's the writer.
Okay.
Fucking Barbra Streisand, Evergreen? Do I know that?
That'd be beachy.
But I'm Your Boogeyman from the KC and the Sunshine Band.
Oh, as covered by Rob Zombie. And,
Yes!
And remains fantastic.
Oh my God, yes.
I'm a Boogeyman. Boogeyman.
Yeah!
Man.
Yeah! Margaritaville was 77.
Dude, that's so funny. Yeah, never mind our disdains for Christmas music.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Jimmy Buffett hasn't released not one, but 2 Christmas albums.
Well,
That's a lot of boomerific nonsense, y'all.
well, I think Sia has actually released a Christmas album.
Who?
Modern artist. She's got a great voice, and she actually wrote new songs. She didn't do covers, which is actually commendable.
I mean, the only good Christmas song proper is from AC/DC. I want a mistress
No.
for Christmas.
Yes, but my favorite Christmas song will always be Christmas in Hollis. It's Christmas time in Hollis, Queens. Mom's cooking chicken and collard greens. Hey, that's the best one. Oh, Hotel California came out in 77.
Oh, wow. We can hate the Eagles, man.
Get out of my cab. Quite a bit, actually. Dancing Queen.
Yeah, to get ready for this episode in the tentative Fleetwood Mac theme, I listened to Your Favorite Band Sucks and their episode on Fleetwood Mac. That got very rumors ripping heavy.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like, man, these guys don't like anything. Much like, what is that awful sound?
Yeah.
And I have a coworker that sounds just like the host of that one. Harrison Hill, Alexander Edward, are you not the same person?
Well, I think we got a good representation of 1977. I'm kind of hungry. You?
I'm getting there.
Cool. Wings are Mexican. I'm driving to Wings.
Did
It's only
I
7:15.
hear from girl? No, I did not.
Message girl?
Mrs. Girl. All right.
Why you Mrs. Girl? By the way, Brian said he listened back to the last episode he was on. He goes, you know what's funny? He goes, I was actually cracking up at the stuff we were talking about, and then as it got further along, he goes, everybody, we were just so shithouse drunk that it wasn't even like listenable anymore. So that's what we were going for.
That's hi. Have you listened to us before?
He goes, it's so great. He goes, like he said, you need to grow it, and people would love this. You just got to get more people to listen to it. I'm like, well, I know we're in the market for somebody to grow this shit for us. I got 3 jobs already.
I keep looking at shifts for valet things. Like, my schedule's so fire trucked already that it's quite difficult to do that. It's like, because it's really difficult to pick up the like 11 to 2 shifts at the little restaurant by South Park.
Yeah.
That between Thanksgiving and Christmas, they've got, just shifts for like that point in time.
Right.
Those were awesome. And the only vacancy in my schedule is like on Sunday. And this next Sunday is going to be the last of which that could possibly do that.
Uh-huh.
But also 1 day weekend. Like, I'm just going to take my overtime and do that. See whatever becomes a new thing, or never mind, they were doing some reevaluating. Like, yeah, right back to us if you like. If you don't, it'll just be general resignation because nobody's getting anything part nowadays.
Right.
I put back in, yes, keep me on the list, keep an eye on the whatever.
Yeah.
And just can't do, like, trying to make it from South Concord to anything that's downtown through South Park is difficult. That makes for a really long day.
Hey, there's not a good way to get there.
No.
It's 29 to Eastway to... there's not a good way to get there.
29 to 77, 29 to 85 to 77 to Tavola, and then all the time you saved is made of stoplights.
Nope, you take 29 to Moorhead, to Harrisburg Road, to Albemarle, to Sheridan.
That I was thinking like the one off of 77, like. Oh, right. Because names get recycled.
They do. 77's in the books. We are not doing an episode next week because of the holiday, but 78 will be after that. I wouldn't mind doing a New Year's episode on New Year's Eve.
Definite maybe.
That's a Friday.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a Friday night. That would be boss. We could do like a big episode, like have some of our favorite people here and do like a New Year's Meritage extravaganza. Maybe. Well, we're off next week, so 77's in the books. 78 will be 2 weeks or so. Happy holidays from yours truly. Steve, any parting shots at the crowd?
See y'all next year or this year, whenever, man.
But it can be both in one episode. Ooh. Actually, that would be really cool. Break in 2021, like, that'd be boss. All right, we'll talk about it.
Or they could be balls drop.
Man, I haven't heard that. I haven't felt that in a while.
Since turning 13, what?
All right, bye. You didn't say bye.
Toodles. Riddles, 77 dollars. And not a joke about the interstate.
Love song?
Interstate 77.
Oh, yeah.
I got a 78 ticket on 77. Everybody just responds, how?
You're just one better. Bye.